What's up, you guys? Now, I am going to tell you how it's like to work at Raising Cane's. Now, you guys know that Raising Cane's always has a line around the building. That's because they got some good chicken. But when my location first opened on a grand opening week, I decided to go to the drive-thru to get me some good old chicken. Take a look at this clip.
So we over here at Raising Cane's, baby.
Oh.
You know, Chick-fil-A. She telling it's Chick-fil-A line. Look how busy it is.
Daddy, it's so long. Daddy? But how are we gonna get this line?
This is crazy how busy it is over here. You all think this would be Chick-fil-A, but it's Raising Cane's.
Daddy, it's a dog.
They got two lines just like Chick-fil-A. Raising Cane's trying to be like Chick-fil-A, y'all.
Raising Cane's.
Man, we had to go all the way around because they don't have two menu boards at this Raising Cane's. So now we got to go all the way around, waiting that long line all over again. Let me get the sandwich combo. Can you add some extra toast to that, like 2 pieces of toast?
Okay, anything else?
That's it.
Okay, so I have a candy yam combo with a large cheese dice, extra fries, extra cold sauce, a sandwich combo with a large cheese dice, cane sauce, lemonade on the side, and 2 extra toast.
Yeah, that's correct.
27.21 at the first window. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Yummy, yummy, yummy.
Now, that was a long line, but it was all worth it. We was in line for 30 minutes. Yep, that food was delicious. Now let's talk about how I got hired at Raising Cane's. Now, like I said, my location was a brand new location. It was supposed to open up in March, but due to COVID-19, it opened up in May. So in May, I decided to apply. And it took them like 3 weeks or a whole month just to call me back. And they really didn't call me back. They texted me on my phone and they said that they had an interview for me. They wanted to do a Zoom interview or a FaceTime interview, and you can choose which one you want to do. Me personally, I hate Zoom, so I decided to do a FaceTime interview. So the manager scheduled me for a FaceTime interview for 11 o'clock, and it worked out just fine. He liked me. I told him I worked at Long John Silver's as a shift manager, and as soon as I said that, he got me in the door. So we had to do a Zoom meeting. Our orientation was on the Zoom, and I hate Zoom. Like, I don't like Zoom because I just don't know how to operate it. Like, sometimes I can't hear what they're saying, sometimes they can't hear what I'm saying. I just don't like doing Zoom. But we had to do orientation through Zoom, and we had to fill out all of our information on our own phone. Like, he emailed me all the information I needed, for 401k, my W-2 form, W-4s, all that stuff I had to do through my phone. And then I got hired, and the first day I had to watch all of the training videos and had to do all of the modules and take the tests and watch videos on sexual harassment, videos on how you filter the grease and how they prepare the chicken and how would you react if it was a robbery. We had to do all that. But yeah, that's how I got hired at Raising Cane's.
Maybe I'm a bird following the sea.
Now we're gonna talk about the infamous toast. Now, we had to put the toast on the grill to make, but the way that you do that is you have to turn on that grill. The picture that you just saw, well, the grill has to reach up to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. And sometimes it'll be like a lot of old stuck butter on there, so you have to get like some of the grease from that we cut the chicken in and put it on the grill and get a wet towel. Well, not a wet towel, but just get a towel and just like wipe it real good so the grill could be a silver color. It has to be like really sparkling silver clean. And we have these 3 spreads. It's like butter, but they call it spread, and it comes like in a circular container. Well, As soon as we get there at 8 o'clock or 7 o'clock in the morning, we literally have to take out the butter, the spread, so it can be at room temperature. Because if it's not at room temperature, it's gonna be hard butter and it's gonna be hard to get on the toast. So what you do, you just get a knife, dip in the spread, dip it on the outside of the toast, and boom, and then you put it on the grill for like 45 seconds on one side, and you flip it for another 45 seconds, and that's how you do the toast.
Tick tock, the clock keeps ticking.
Now let's talk about the infamous cane sauce. Now I know that all of you guys that eat at Raising Cane's love their cane sauce. It's very popular, but this is how you make it. And that's how you make the cane sauce. Can't tell you guys how you make it. It's a secret that you have to find out. Now we're going to take a little tour of the Raising Cane's walk-in cooler. So this is our walk-in. That's the butter, honey mustard, the milk, the batters, lemonades, and all of these cane sauces. Gotta hurry up for my manager come in. And this is all of the chicken. And all of the fries. That's the sandwich buns and all of the fries. We almost out of fries. Sorry guys, but I had to be really quick with that tour because we're not supposed to be on our phones because we could get written up. So I had to be real quick, but yeah, that's where we keep all of the main ingredients. You know, we keep the lemons for the lemonade in there. We keep the chicken or bird, as they like to call it, and we keep the butter for the toast or the spread for the toast. We keep the milk for the batter, and I think you get the picture. Yeah. Now I know you guys are dying to know, how do they prepare their chicken? Well, this is how we prepare it. Okay, so our chicken comes in a case. It comes like in a case, and it comes with 4 bags of chicken in each case. So what we do is, each case, we have to take 3 bags out of each case. I know there's 4 bags to a case, but we have to take 3 bags out of each case. And we have to put it in these rectangular containers. And we put 3 bags in each container, and then we have marinade water. So the way that we marinate water is, we have a little packet of marinade, and then we just open it up and we pour the powder packet of marinade inside of the container, and then we add 8 ounces of water, and then we just shake it up like that, and we let it marinate. And so we take out the marinade water and we put 3 bags of chicken in each container, and sometimes we have to do like 28 buckets of marinade chicken, or sometimes 24 buckets, depending on the day and how busy it is and how much chicken or bird they use, because they call it the bird. And so we put 3 bags of chicken in each container of the marinated water, and we shake it up like that. Or sometimes we gotta like marinate it and kind of like break it up with our hands like this, and break it apart, because sometimes the chicken or bird will stick together. So we have to like take it apart and let it sit in the water for like 24 hours. And then the cook, what they do is they get the bucket of marinated chicken after 24 hours is done, and then they put it in their cooking area, and then they have a container with the flour, then they have the bucket full of batter, and they dip the chicken inside the batter, and then they have this basket where they raise up the chicken or bird, and then it drains out all of that batter, and then they dump it in a container of flour. Then they just, mix the chicken or bird. They mix the bird in between the flour, and then they transfer it over to the fryers, and then they pick up the chicken or bird with their fingers. So you literally have to pick up the bird, you have to get your pinky finger and your ring finger to pick up one tender, and then you have to get your ring finger and your middle finger to pick up the second chicken tender, and then you have to get your middle finger, your index finger to pick up the third piece of chicken. Then you have to get your index finger and your thumb to pick up the fourth piece of chicken, and then you glide it in the oil, and that's how you prepare the chicken. And the way that you make the batter is we have to get a gallon of whole milk. I mean, you can get a gallon of milk from the store. You can do this yourself at home. And we have this container of the liquid eggs, and we add 8 ounces of the liquid eggs in there, and then we just pour it in a bucket, and then we add a whole gallon of milk in the bucket, then we whisk it together, and that's how you make the batter, and that's how you prepare the chicken or the bird at Raising Cane's. Thank you and have a wonderful day. Now let's talk about hot hands. Now what hot hands is, you only have one person that's on hot hands. And hot hands is what you doing is you're putting the salt on the fries that just came out the grease, and then you picking up the chicken, and then you just put in the containers where we get in the little to-go boxes where you get your food. And it's literally called hot hands because it's really hot, fresh out the grease hot. And you just scoop up the fries, you put it in a little section of container, then you get like 3 pieces of chicken. If you're making a 3-finger combo, you get 3 pieces of chicken, and then you put it in the box like that. Or you get 4 pieces of chicken. If you're making a box combo, you have to get 4 pieces of chicken and the hot fries and put it in the container. Or if you're making a cognac combo, you have to get 6 pieces of chicken and the fries and put it in the container. And that's all you do on hot hands. So that's what hot hands is. You just put fries and the chicken in the box. Now let's talk about board. Now board is a little bit similar to hot hands. See, the board person, they set you up. They set the hot hands person up so they can just put the chicken and fries in there. So what the board people do is they get the boxes together. They wear a headset so they can hear what the customer's ordering through the drive-thru. And they get the boxes ready, and they put the cane sauce in there, and the coleslaw in there, and they put the fork in there, and they put the toast in there after the hot hands person put the fries and the chicken in there. And then the board people take the box over to the drive-thru, and that's what the board people do. Now let's talk about prepping. Now, what the prep person do is they work from 8 o'clock in the morning to 2 o'clock in the afternoon. And the only thing they do is they come in, they prepare the coleslaw, they open up the bags of cabbage, and then they get the mayonnaise, the coleslaw dressing, they mix it up together, and then they cup up probably like 10 to 12 buckets of coleslaw for that morning, and then they prepare the lemonade. So what they do is they cut up the lemons, and then they just purge the lemons. They had like this little machine where they just put the lemons inside there and then purge it and then all the lemon juice coming into the bucket, falls to the bucket, and they had to do like 4 to 5 cases of lemons. They literally had to squeeze all those lemons out, and then they pour the lemon juice in this big old white bucket, and then they add the water, then they add the sugar, and they just mix it all up, and that's how they prepare everything, and they just get everything ready. So that's all the prep person doing. At 2 o'clock, they out the door. Now let's talk about drive-thru. Now, if you want to be on drive-thru, if you want to be on the headset, you gotta be fast taking those orders, because we had to take each order, each customer in under 60 seconds. So if you on drive-thru, even if you in the hole, because if you in a hole, that's a whole different story. But the drive-thru, let's talk about taking the order taken for drive-thru. Now, what they do is they take the order through the headset, and they put in the order on the computer, on the register, and then they bag it. They're also the baggers, so they're bagging the orders for the car that's at the window, and then they take in the order at the person that's at the speaker, and then they bagging up other stuff too. And then You know, so they have to be fast and they have to multitask because sometimes they're doing 3 to 4 different things at one time while taking that person's order. And we have another position. It's at the drive-through, but it's another position and it's called the hole. So what the hole is that first window that people stop at Raising Cane's to pay for their food. And then the next window they go to, they pick up their food at that second window. But the first window is the hole. So all you do at the hole is you just accept cash or credit card payments. And sometimes they want to add on extra things when they get to the hole. You could just ring it up like that, but you gotta let the person that took their order know that, hey, they added this on. So when they get up to the window, they'll know to put it in the bag. And they also fold aprons and they also fold towels at the drive-through in the hole. And that's all the whole person do. The hole is the easiest position, but you got to be fast at accepting those credits because they want to stay in the green. If they get in the yellow or get in the red and you in the hole and it's your fault, you in trouble. And they also have drinks. So the drink person, all they do is just make the drinks at drive-through, but they got to be fast because sometimes they have like 8 drinks for one car. And then you have to get all of the drinks ready for the cars behind that person. So you gotta be fast, you know, because we have like lemonade, we have tea, we have the gallons of tea, the gallons of lemonade. You literally have to get the gallon, get the funnel, and put it underneath the sweet tea or the lemonade. And you have to get the gallons ready, and on top of getting the drinks ready, and sometimes they ask for apple juice and orange juice. You literally have to get like the apple juice and get like the water bottles ready. It's just a process. So you got to be real fast when you on drinks. And if your ice bin gets empty, you have to get your own ice. Well, sometimes if it's a floater around, you be like, hey, can you give me some ice for drive-through? Because I got a line. You know, some people are real nice about it and some people assholes with it. Now let's talk about filtering the oil. Now the way that you filter the oil is we have this hose, like this big old hose that we have to get. And then we have to get these black gloves. It's like these long black gloves so you don't burn yourself. Then we have to put on this black apron, like a big heavy black apron. And then you have to put on these goggles, you know, so you can stay protected, so you don't get your eyes messed up. And I hate putting on those goggles because the goggles fog up. And then you literally have to keep taking out the goggles and wiping it off with your shirt and putting them back on. I hate those goggles. And then we have the Magnasol. Now the Magnasol gets the oil clean. And we have to literally open up the bag of Magnasol and pour it in the fryer that we're filtering. And it's 4 fryers. And then we have the fryers that we have the fryers when we do the fryers. And we don't really filter that. I work in the morning, so we don't filter that part. But we filter 3 fryers. And then we have to get the hose. And then we have to open up the little cabinet. And we have to connect the hose under them to make sure it's connected. And then you have to call for a hot check. Hotspot check! You literally have to yell so the manager can make sure that the hose is connected properly, because if it's not connected properly and you start filtering, oil is gonna splash all over the place. It happened before. Not in my stove, but it happened before. The manager told me. And then I saw it on the training videos when I was in training. So if the manager come over and they check to see that your hose is tight, he'll give you a thumbs up. That means start filtering. Then you have to put the switch down, and then you get the hose and you just spray it like that. But you have to drain the oil first. That's what the hose is. Put it down to drain the oil. Then after it's been drained, you have to get the hose and you can spray the corners and all the coils. Make sure it's nice and clean. Then you just get like a little brush, get in between the coils and get the other brush, scrub like that. Make sure everything's nice and clean. And once the oil clean, once it don't have all that dried up flour and from the chicken, you can raise the oil back up. And then we have to empty out after we filter. It's this filter pan. We have to take it apart and clean all that dried up flour and all that dried up oil in there. We have to scoop it out. We have this fry box. So we put like a trash bag in this fry box, and then we cut the flaps off of it, and then we have to put like a scoop of flour in there so it could be easy to absorb all of that dried up oil and all that dried up flour. and we scoop up. We get a scraper and we scrape up all of the excess flour and all the excess dried up oil in the box. And then we had to scrape off the filter pan and spray it out. I actually have a few pictures to show you guys how it looks. Take a look at these pictures.
Hooked me up one summer night. I was flying sky high. Maybe I'm a bird.
Now let's talk about the management. Now the management there, it's all right. Some managers are professional and some managers are a little unprofessional. But the managers are all in their 20s. Like, these are young managers, like fresh out of high school, just about managers at my location. You know, the general manager, he's only 28 years old. I was older than all of the managers there. The youngest manager that we had was 21 years old. But other than that, they do a schedule. The way that they do your schedule is through hot schedules. So on hot schedule, you can log in, you can see how many hours you're working, how many days you're working for the week, and you can swap your shift or you can drop your shift. If you be like, hey, look, something came up, I can't work this shift, you can drop your shift and it's up to somebody to pick it up, and then it's up to the manager to approve it. Or if you want to request off, you could just email your manager on hot schedule, and you know, it's better to do it like that through hot schedules. And some of the managers, like if you behind on the orders and stuff like that, some of the managers be like, hey, what's going on? Why are we holding on bird? You know, because they call it chicken or bird. Why are we waiting on fries? What's going on? Or some managers, they'll just jump in and be like, let me help you out. And they just help out. They help you get caught up with the cooking or with preparing the food for the customers. And on employee meals, we're going to talk about employee meals too. Now, the way that employee meals works is, if you want 50% off, you'll have to come in 30 minutes before your shift starts or 30 minutes after your shift starts to get your 50% off. And if you work in the morning, you would just forget about it because there ain't no food ready if you work in the morning. So if you go on break, that's another story. Sometimes, most of the time, we didn't really get breaks. But depending on the managers, when we did get our breaks, they'll let us eat for free. They'll let us eat like a 3-finger combo or a kid's meal. But taking food home was the problem, because some managers, they didn't care. Some managers be like, you know, if we have food left over on our shift, some of the managers be like, hey, take that. Y'all want it? Y'all can have it, and we'll just take it home. I remember one time I had took home a tailgate, because a tailgate, it was a 2.5 tailgate, and the customer changed their mind, didn't want it, and it was already made. And so the manager, instead of the manager just putting it back in a bin, in a birdhouse, they call it a birdhouse, that's where we put the chicken and the fries in. Instead of putting the chicken back in there, he was like, hey, who want to take this home? Who want to take this home? I said, ooh, I do. And I took a whole 2.5 tailgate home. And I have a little video of it. Take a look at this video.
You hit yourself?
We hit the jackpot. Free Raising Cane's for a whole year.
Oh my God. What happened? No, girl, ain't no free raise past it over here.
That is Free Raising Cane's.
That's enough in a year.
Yep, we enjoyed that food. I actually reheated it up in the oven. But yeah, you know, I'm really tired of eating the food from Raising Cane's. I gained about 10 to 15 pounds within my 6 months of working at Raising Cane's, because that's all I did was eat for free every day. Most of the time we didn't get a break. Some of the managers be like, hey, you know, take about 5 minutes to go eat, you know, to get some energy in you. You know, I eat like 2 pieces of chicken with some fries and cane sauce and a piece of toast. And I was like every day, and then I was taking free food home. But like I said, if you come on your day off, they don't let you get 50% off at all. Depending on the manager, they'll let you get 50% off. Most of the time, if the big boss is working, he would not let you get your 50% discount. And it's only for you. It's only for one person, and that's you. You can't get it for your girlfriend or your best friend or your mama, your daddy, your sister, your brother, your cousin, none of that. The 50% is for you, and it has to be 30 minutes before your shift or 30 minutes after your shift for you to get 50% off. Or if you go on break, you get 50% off.
I know if I can make it when I walk alone.
Now, let's talk about the hours. Now that's what I'm really, really excited to talk about, because due to COVID-19, we don't get that many hours. Believe it or not, even though you guys always see a line wrapped around the building at Raising Cane's, they do not give out a lot of hours at my particular location. And this is the reason why. They say they don't do it because they don't want a lot of people working on one shift at one time, because they scared that they're gonna get the virus. But you can get the virus either way it goes, right? That makes sense to me. With the people, with the 8 to 10 people that we have working on our block shifts, you can still get the virus. Like, I don't understand why you want to cut hours because of virus. Like, it's still not slowing down business, but we don't get a lot of hours over there. And that's what I really hate about this company, because they are so adequate about this damn virus. But you can still get the virus either way it goes. If you come into contact with the few workers that we have on the shift, you can still get the virus. It don't make sense. So in order for, this is how I get my hours. I wait for somebody to drop their shift on hot schedules, and I pick up that shift. You know, if I'm off on the day that that person is dropping their shift, I'll pick up that shift, and then the manager will approve it. Or somebody call in, the manager called me, hey Charles, you feel like coming to work? And I'll go in. That's how I get my hours. But other than that, they don't give you 40 hours over there. If you're not a shift manager or operator or general manager or assistant manager, none of that, they're not finna give you your hours. They're not gonna give it to you at all. So yeah, it's really a job for part-time workers at this point, because due to COVID-19. I don't understand that at all. Chick-fil-A get their hours and the virus still going on, so I don't understand. Now, let's talk about the truck. Now, the truck comes on Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays, and Saturdays. Now, Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, the truck will be there at 7 o'clock in the morning. On Saturdays, the truck get there between 10:30 and 11 o'clock in the morning. And I hate that the truck is coming so late on Saturday, because that's lunch rush. So you literally have to put up the truck and then do the lunch rush orders. That was a pain in the ass. But Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, it was real easy to put up the truck. You know, we all help out with the truck. It's not just one person doing a job. You know, the kitchen people, if you're going to be on bird, which is a cook, you're going to put up the walk-in cooler. You know, you're going to put up the milk. You're going to put up the spread for the butter. You're going to put up all of the chicken, or in case the bird, as they like to call it, and all the lettuce, all of the coleslaw cabbage, all of the coleslaw dressing, all the lemons. You're going to put up all that stuff in the walk-in cooler. Then they have the flour. They put the flour in the area where we do the cooking in, and then you just basically rotate the flour around, first in, first out. You know, that we do everything first in, first out. And picking up the case of soda, we have to rotate the sodas, you know, the drinks, the sodas, you have to rotate that around. And that's just how you do the truck. I mean, it's self-explanatory. The truck is pretty big though. It's always a big truck. Saturdays is a small truck, but Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays is a big truck. So we get 4 trucks in 1 week at Raising Cane's. Now we're going to talk about cleaning. Last but not least is cleaning. So washing the dishes is the big part that people hate doing at Raising Cane's, because you have 2 separate dishes. You have the bird dishes, which is the raw chicken dishes, and we put it like at the bottom, like it's this cart that you put it on. We put the raw chicken dishes underneath on this cart, like the raw pans of chicken with the flour, the milk wash, well, the batter. We put all that at the bottom, and then on the top is where we put all the other dishes, like the containers where we put the lemonade in, the big old bowl of coleslaw where we mix the coleslaw in. We got that right there. Then we got the cane sauce, so we put like the buckets of cane sauce. You know, we got all that, wash it. And you have to wash it separately too, you know, because you don't want to cross-contaminate anything. So most of the time I wash the regular dishes first, and then I drain my water out, my dishwater and my sanitizer water out, and then I put fresh water in, and then I do my bird dishes, which is the raw chicken dishes. And you cannot mix up the raw chicken dishes in with the regular dishes because the manager will bitch at you, you will get in trouble. And then we have the line sweep, you know, like if you're on hot hands or if you're on board and you waste like chicken or bird and some fries on the floor, you know, you will make a mess. It is bound to happen. It's a busy restaurant. You're gonna make a mess. So we'll have that person do a line sweep real fast. You know, you just sweeping where all the mess is at and you take out the trash and stuff like that. You know, it's basically self-explanatory. You know, ain't nothing to it but to do it. If you guys want to know how the uniforms are, well, these are the uniforms right here. This is my Raising Cane's hat. I have the Raising Cane's shirt. I actually like this shirt better. I think this shirt is better. You know, this one looks the best. They have a lot of different Raising Cane shirts. And they gave me, this was my first Raising Cane shirt, like right here. I really didn't like this shirt too much. I don't like the color. I like the blue one the best. I also have my Raising Cane's mask on. See, this mask is called a gator. So they gave me this one day. It's a gator. See, you got One Love on here in Cane's. See, and I got this mask too. See how I got Raising Cane's right here. And like I said, this is called a gator. A gator, like an alligator, but a gator. And that's what it's like to work at Raising Cane's. If you want to see more videos like this, comment below and let me know, and I'll let you know on what it's like to work at Chick-fil-A, or what it's like to work at Long John Silver's, what it's like to work at the zoo in the food department, what it's like to work at any fast food restaurant that I worked at personally, Papa Seafood. That's about all the fast food restaurants. Oh yeah, and KFC. I worked at KFC for one day though. But yeah, if you want to see more videos like this, just comment below and let me know, and I will make more videos on what it's like to work at that particular restaurant. All right, you guys, I'm out of here. Peace out.